Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. I'm Frozenmalin, and today we're back with some more SpellRogue. Today I need to prove that I'm actually good at the game, not just to you guys, but mainly to myself. We are going to try and do a Descent 6 run. It's on my list of stuff I need to do. And the other thing I want to be able to do as well is essentially just get like as much out of this stuff as possible. Now, how are we going to work with this? I'm going to start with this last page for Solidarity for Azar. I think that's a really good start. Other than that, anything else I kind of want is kind of like, kind of thing. I was thinking like getting the critical, maybe going for the utility supply weakness, which would seem kind of useful in this case because it applies to all enemies, but it's every 6 utility, which is kind of annoying. Life Drinker is just extra health, which can be pretty useful, or, as my favourite, is the Light's Lantern, which is what we're going to take here. And we're just going to try this build out for now, I think. Is it this one? Or is it Blaze, the Flame Hunger? Actually, no, we're going to go with the Flame Hunger. Yeah. I think this is the way. This is the way. They're both the same. I do like both of them, though. We're going to start with this one. Solidarity. And I'm going to try and get a win. Now, unfortunately, Elite Battle start with that. That seems fine. Don't like that. Receive 2 curse. Every second turn when enemy gains a random buff. That's not a bad late game, but it's not great early. Every 10 spells rolled, destroy a random die. That could actually work in my favor. And I picked that up. Do you have a double elite fight route? We do, so we're going to go that way anyway. Don't care about anything else. I want to go for more dice destruction stuff. So when I was doing our overanalyzing series for this, I was kind of just looking at what we're capable of getting away with when it comes to Azar and like the sort of like really good outputs that you have available for it. Fill that off instantly, we don't need to worry about that. But we'll still do the damage anyway. And the main reason for that is like I said, the series was a good thing for both myself to play with and mess around and actually learn all the stuff that I want to be able to learn, but also as well it's kind of like explain a lot of the stuff that, because I said like a good teacher is someone that can essentially explain the stuff to you. Yeah, I like that idea actually. The shield could be nice, infused shield. I do like it as well. It's kind of very useful. But this just gives me another way to deal some damage, and I think that's kind of nice. Because I don't have scaling and stuff. Yeah, I can take that. I think that's going to be useful. Foresight seems great. No, we'll take the shard, because the shard is always useful. Getting an extra one of those, don't need to roll that, could be pretty good. The other thing is, like, if I put an odd in here, we can gain more on that. If a 5 for... Yeah, I like gaining more Banefire, to be honest, but we should be gaining enough on there anyway. So Banefire is one of those things I always like, and turn deal damage to an enemy. We're going for the double elite path, so we're going this way. Pick this up. Now we can get the extra Banefire. And then go this way for that elite fight. Let's get another one. Another one. So we're going to have a lot of shards this time around. So, yeah. So that gives me Radiant, which is kind of nice. We can just keep doing this on repeats as well. So we can kind of like deal damage immediately and then just like gain as much Banefire as I possibly can while still dealing damage. I love Banefire, like 6 damage to front enemy end of turn. And it stays around. This used to decrease by 1, if I'm correct. So this works as like a very good defensive tool now for me to kind of like just keep using on repeat. 13 damage does not seem that great. We want to get as much armor as possible here. Also deal damage. So, well, I mean, we're pretty much set up on like some passive damage. So I guess we'll do this and this and this in a good amount. Then I guess we're gonna gain more as well. Yeah, the word I cannot pronounce. Is it phlogiston? My brain doesn't work with that word at all. I guess we'll take the damage from that on the ignite. Not great, but is at least like workable. Do that again. We're going to gain at least some armor here. I guess we're going to accept some damage anyway. And deal that damage there. The main thing is like getting this up with the Banefire now is just pretty cool. And I do like it because like Banefire can be pretty useful in a lot of cases, right? Do as much damage as I can. And put that in there because that'll help gain one of those. And then we can set up some defense for next turn. If we need it. Otherwise, we're going to kill them anyway. Disappointing on that. This should trigger now. We should get extra die, extra spells. And then we're done. I think this is going to be a fun build overall. But yeah. So I technically have really good offensive capabilities already. I mean, it does mean I only can do like one person at a time. But I'm not going to deny that. Fickle Barrier on Dice Destruction. And if less than 50% health, we can gain more. We could even just like cast this consistently. Fickle Barrier is great to pick up as a defensive tool. We will pick it up. Now, is the healing worth it? Or is just like always casting it if I destroy a die worth it? I think always casting it if I destroy a die is just way too good. Because we do that every, what, 12 die now rolled? We destroy something. So, we're going to work on that. Spells apply +1 affliction, or lose a spell and gain gold. Hotspot is kind of interesting. I like this as my offensive one at the moment. Hotspot could go if it wants to gain the gold. Do we have a shop coming up this route? We do not, so gold is not important. Do I have damage for Withered Claw? Yeah, it's not really worth it to be honest, but I must take it. Like, it's just like, it's just 2 of the potion anyway, so... Like 2 ticks of potion, I gain the health back on that, so, like, I'm not really that worried about it. Technically 3, but, you know. Use the potion immediately, so we got that going. Yeah, and then I guess we'll start my journey. So main thing I want to do is set this up so we have as much of that as possible. Then I guess we're just going to get as much Banefire as I need early. So we're set up on there. And then just more defense. So this guy should just get killed immediately. And then I just take this damage here. And if they're not summoning anything, they're going to take lots of damage in return for it. That is part of the evil plan. Put the 1 in there. Get the boss back. That gets destroyed. That gets triggered. That's so good. And we're going to gain all of that as well. And a bit of defense to finish it off. And I guess I'll put this here to help out with the next cast. So yeah, I think this build is going to have a grand old time overall. And it's going to be fairly interesting. Right? And just do this kill that guy off immediately. I don't need to worry about him then. The 4 can go somewhere if we want to. Or we can just set up more of my Banefire. And trigger all the dice rerolls again. think another 3 can go in there. And I guess we're just going to deal damage after damage. And then make sure we're going to get more armor from that thing. But yeah, if they don't summon stuff, they're dead anyway. We don't need to worry about it. So that is a kill. That triggers that. And this is so fun. We have got a really good setup. If we do go for like a build on there, but we do have something we can lose then with this. So it's kind of also the other benefit. Wildfire Explosion, interesting. Health loss minus increase 6 if health loss is turned. Don't really care about it. Roaring Flames. +4 on next cast to deal damage. Interesting on these. Interesting. Dice Destruction on that being -2 is pretty cool. And we do have Dice Destruction to make this easier to cast. And it applies that weakness, which kind of helps out a little bit as well. Might pick it up anyway, just because it's kind of semi-useful. And then just pop that in there, and then put it down. Because the main thing is the Dice Destruction helps out, and it kind of already goes into the combo phase that we already have. There was a setting I was meant to change as well, wasn't there? Interface. Show upgrades on the spell draft. There we go. Gotta change that setting. I knew there was something in there where I was just like, oh yeah, show upgrades and stuff. Like, this is kind of what I want to be able to see, so I can actually kind of like see what the upgrades are immediately, rather than click into them. So, what is the plan with this one? I guess we're doing the same thing we always do, Pinky. We try to take over the world. If any of you get that reference, thank you. You stopped me feeling too old. I guess we just set the Wildfire Explosion. I love that it's just 8 damage immediately for an enemy. It's so much damage, really, straight away. Does mean that late game it might be a bit of an issue, but I think that's absolutely fine. Just put this down then, do it again. We've still got the 5 for defense if we want, but the 4 for defense. We could just do 7 here. And 3. Well, I get more defense out of this immediately, so let's do that. I could have gone for the kill, but I'm like, this fully blocks, so... it is slightly better. The extra die I get from this lantern early on is actually helping me out quite a lot as well. That is that setup. I think we just chuck this thing at like this guy. There's a lot of damage, but I think it's fair. Do that again as well there. Put that and that down there, just so we've got 27. We just need to do a small bit of that amount of damage. And he's just good. The other bit is, the more die I have, the more I can just kind of like leave the die alone and get the Fickle Barrier to trigger with lots of ones and stuff. Ah, that's so much better with the upgrades. Thank you. Reduce the cast by 1. Could be really good to get like good defense late game. Interesting. Blinding Brilliance does give me 3 weak if I hit someone with it, so that's also kind of interesting. And Hurt, I do not mind that either. I mean, it's a bit annoying for the build that we're currently going. Ashen Plating is something that I'm kind of more interested in, right? So I'm going to pick it up. Plus, it's like a little bit more easier to kind of like use and have. And it is kind of defensive in the options that I want. Hotspot's still pretty good compared to the Wildfire Explosion, just because I can actually like deal damage with this consistently. But yeah, once this gets going, I have really good defense then as a setup. I don't need to worry about anything else. We're going to choose to gain a spell again, because I would like to gain something pretty decent if I can. Chaos Bolts, again, is kind of interesting, and it does get the upgrade for the free cast sometimes. So if I do get power scaling, it's going to work. I'm going to pick up Chaos Bolts, I think. Or do we go and reroll? I think we reroll. Get something better. Kindle is interesting as well, because like Kindle would give extra charges to itself every time I destroy, which could be even more fun, or gain more Banefire out of it as well. Plus rolling 3s and 4s just means like they can go into like all sorts of cool stuff here. Z of the Sun, though, is just kind of hilarious. And it will just trigger lots of things if we went for this build. And then I just have like a panic button on that. Right. Looks like this just triggers... Oh no, it only triggers once, doesn't it, per die destruction. So no, we'll go with this one then. Kindled is better. Kindle still needs the upgrade to either gain Banefire or gain extra charges. I would probably like the gain of Banefire, to be honest, because that would be a little bit more useful to me. Take a sip of my coffee. Keeps me going, keeps me fueled. Could have chucked the ones in there, to be honest. That would have been slightly better. So I need to defend, and I am not. For every dice roll, we're not rolling any more die. Okay, so I guess we're just going to gain as much here as we can. I don't have much defense. Let's roll these while we can. I think it just kind of like sets this up for the next turn as well. That gives a good amount of defense for this. We can get a bit more as well. We have 610, so this doesn't trigger this, which is a bit annoying. So we'll kind of just do it this way then. And then we'll work to kind of get rid of this guy and then start doing like chunks of damage to this one as well, right? I think that's the best way about it that I can get set up. Just try and chunk this guy out early and then go from there. And then we'll try and start getting some of the Ashen Plating stuff done. It's annoying that they get 12 armor here, but we actually get through that, so I need 8 more, which is just like 2 3s in this to get through that. And we're kind of almost set up with the Ashen Plating as well, plus the trigger event from the Radiant, which will be pretty good as well. So that triggers the Radiant to go off. Then we get free Fickle Barrier. We can put another 3 in there as well. That kills this guy immediately. We're going to have some good defense set up. Let's put that in there and that in there also. Just so the Ashen Plating is ready and raring to go. I think we do that again as well, because Ashen Plating getting down to like 0 cost would be pretty good. Doing 10 damage would seem interesting, but it doesn't actually do any damage. Just do this again, because that triggers that, and then we're already fully defended, so yeah, just setting up the Ashen Plating more. This now does 23 damage, which will just stop this immediately. So that's kind of nice. 1. Another 1. Cast and cast. I don't need to defend at all, really, so... or be offensive either, so we're just going to keep setting this Ashen Plating up for, like, really easy defense later. That's a 3. That triggers all of those. We lost a die. That triggers the Fickle Barrier. Like, this is so much fun. Take your 10 damage. Take it again. That will stop you from doing what you're about to do. We can roll this again to get the extra die from there. We can get another 3. Do we just do more damage? No, we don't need to do more damage. Like, we're pretty much two-shotting this guy soon, so yeah. I have just turned myself into a giant human torch with this build already. That's interesting. Let's see what spells we get first of all. What's going to really work for us here? Hemorrhage would seem interesting. I don't like any of these, to be honest. The mutilation would seem interesting, but the wounds and stuff are not great. The chaotic moment is actually kind of like pretty good, in the sense of like it gives you really good defense for setting up, and it applies it to everything, so it's not bad. But I think I get something better than this, so I'm going to try. Now, here we go. Phoenix Ward. I think this is exactly the spell that I want, really. Health loss on this, getting +2 more armor on more health loss would seem interesting, but no, I think the Phoenix Ward is the precise thing you want to pick up. What do we get here, then? The sap is fine. Lowest dice becomes silence die, we do not care. Start blocking to countdown reduction. Can actually be pretty good. I think Firelight now comes out now, because it's just not as good as like Phoenix Ward once that's getting set up. We destroy die. Kindle's pretty useful. The Wildfire Explosion's still kind of useful, but we'll have to think about that. Do we just go for the sap? That's going to hurt me a little bit. So this only gives 3 then for self-casting it. I think we take this. Right? No. The lowest die each turn. Well, I guess destroyed anyway. Yeah, I'm going to take that. I think that is the best way to go about it. I mean, I don't want the sap is my issue. Like, it kind of diminishes my auto cast so much that I'm not really that much of a fan of it. No, I don't like that. Gaining no armor. Turn 1, roll 1 less die. Lose a spell. Need to pick up 3 here. Every second turn when I gains 2 power. It's kind of fine, I guess. I think turn 1, just getting clumsy is fine with the extra die we already have. And, yeah. It's just roll less, so it kind of affects this stuff. I want dice destruction stuff. I'm going to reroll this. She's getting common spell. Pay 100 gold. I can pay 100 gold. That seems absolutely fine. And we start with on death receive wounded. Let's take that actually. And that. I think that's absolutely fine. Yeah, I'll pay 100 gold, and yeah, start battle, they can just take that, because they don't really plan to one-shot them anyway. And I guess we're going up this way, and we might get other stuff as well, because we want to try and go for, like, the final boss if we can, I guess? Do we? Maybe not. Maybe I'm being stupid on that front. Anyway, so that becomes a silence die. Who cares? Just give me a bunch of outdoor ones and stuff. Man, that ended up like being terrible. Let's get the Ashen Plating sorted and set that up. Put that and that in, so that's going to have some uses. And yeah, I guess. So I just set up more defense? Yeah. With Fickle Barrier and then low cost the Ashen Plating, allow that to be destroyed. Fickle Barrier goes off again, we're fully defended. Not the dice destruction. No. Isn't that bad, right? I mean, like, the setup I end up having is just, like, still pretty good. Like, there's no sort of, like, particular issue with, like, how I'm trying to do stuff, and I should just do this immediately, actually. We roll 3 extra die. We trigger that. We could even do it again, pretty much. Put that in there, though. Get a 1, so the 2 goes here. Can't trigger that, but I could get the Ashen Plating up again, couldn't I? Or do we try and get the kill on this guy? I think we go for the kill. So I don't fancy, like, taking that damage either. The Fickle Barrier always will get at least, like, 1 trigger with the dice destruction from the lowest cost being a silence die every time. So that's kind of good, right? Really? Lands on the 1 die I don't want it to. I guess here we just do this, just to make sure we can do stuff, and then trigger this twice. So we do 20 damage, technically, to the front guy. Fickle Barrier still casts immediately anyway. Yeah, take a bit of damage, but it's fine. So we can take this guy out, and then one of the other guys will die to whatever happens afterwards. So that's fine, I guess. Don't need to defend, so yeah. Figuring out what I need to do is the main thing, I think, with this, and we're doing alright. I generally don't think there's a particular issue that I'm going to have. Yeah, they only cast once with Dice Destruction. Which is a shame. I wish it comboed like you could just like sacrifice like all your die and then it just casts on repeat, but hey ho. Not much you can really do about it. Ooh, Flamestorm. Or Temper. Destroy random die. That gives me really good defense and helps me scale up in what I'm trying to do. Flamestorm is like really good, and especially for what we're trying to do as well, but this would trigger everything and start causing the stuff I want to happen with the upgrade, and we could get Flamestorm again. Temper is actually pretty good. So like it casts this immediately, and then like on this I gain like more of that as well. I think Temper is something I want to pick up here. I mean, this is still really good. I just don't have power scaling for this to be benefit me long term. Ashen Plating is still good. I think the Phoenix Ward is better than Ashen Plating now because it scales completely and consistently. In my opinion, this upgrade is better as well, so we're looking at that. Ashen Plating, any discount stuff I can get on there? No, so yeah, I think we're in a good spot. I think we are in a good spot. I paid 30 gold. Weariness. Limit maximum dice to 6. Do not like that. Let's gain a Void Spell, I think. What can we pick up here? Roll an extra die. Styx is always an interesting one as well. Inscribe, -2 cost the countdown effects. So like Fickle Barrier, Hotspot, like those could be reduced down. Ashen Plating could help be reduced down for the rest of the run. Styx, keeping extra die around doing extra damage would be pretty cool as they persist as well. So that will help me kind of deal with random stuff if we want to go that. And it would work as a form of damage as well, actually. So yeah, let's take Styx. Because essentially, like, that will allow me to kind of destroy dice and keep stuff going on with just, like, holding die per turn. Now, where do we want... Yeah, I guess we can't do anything else from here, so we'll do this. Just choose to gain a spell. What else can we get? Volcanic Power. Gain power, lose 2 life. Reduce countdown. Gain more power. Interesting. Nothing really here that kind of sticks out to me. I'm going to disenchant through the Wildfire Explosion, just because I'm not a fan of it anymore. It's just not good enough. I'm going to re-roll these, I think. So you can gamble. Inferno. I'll pick that up. It's a damaging spell that seems interesting. Kindle seems kind of a bit pointless now, although the extra thing on there, it's just the fact it only rolls 1 die, so I guess it's kind of not useful. Inferno is probably more useful than that. Okay. To the Elite Battle. Okay. So my only bad thing here is the fact that we're going to have issues with this guy immediately. But 2 Styx die will always mean with the thingy as well will always deal with it, so we're not like that big of an issue. We don't need that, so I guess I'll put the Styx in there. I should probably wait on that front, to be honest. That goes in there, and that goes in there as well to set that up. We're taking a lot of damage, so Pickle Barrier is kind of interesting, but we'll just do this one first. I lost the 6 immediately. But, like, this casts each other, so it's actually still pretty good, right? Plus, like, this is going to scale up really nice, and, like, having extra die around will prevent me from, like, having other problems and stuff, right? Like, dice loss and not having enough dice on particular turns and things is just going to be, like, won't make a difference. Like, the setup and stuff, so... Lacerate is going to be a problem, but we can kind of counteract that by just setting this up anyway. Pickle Barrier makes no difference now. We can just do this for the temper to get as much armor as possible. We do use that, keep the sticks on. So this does all the damage to the front guy, so if the front guy is the wrong one, then we're all good. Do take a lot of damage though. Oh, he's the real one. Delightful. I do not think that is in like any way fair that the wrong that guy was the right one. Really, I lost the 3 on that. Oh well. We do have a 6 and a 6. We've got 2 5s though, so 2 5s can go there, get me as much armor as possible. I don't need to worry about this, so I could just put this in there, gain the temper immediately. Now we just get the Pickle Barrier. There we go. Constant chip damage. Like, I guess, yeah, because we roll these die, this also triggers them more often as well. This is actually really cool. I didn't think this would happen this way. Right? Like, I know it's still like, sort of like a dumb thing, right? Did that actually tell me that was the real one there? Interesting. Well, they're all going to have 11, so we literally just run through them by hitting end turn. Yeah, so yeah, like, I can just keep doing this, like, on repeat. Like, kill, kill, okay. So that guy's the real one, is what we found out. Let's do that in there immediately, that in there immediately as well, just so we get the extra die. Could put 2 6s in, but that seems pointless. Let's do that to get the damage up. Put that in there as well. Maybe that is the fake one. Who knows at this point, right? There is not much else that I can do. There's a full kill, so... That was the fake one. Interesting. This build is going to be fun. Apply the soul. So do we want to take that? No, I think we'll leave that, because we've been doing that so much, and I don't think it's actually worth it. Minus count on Transcendence. Well, we are that type of build, so, yeah. I think we do this. Transcendence, please. I think this is a really good setup. I think, like, there's nothing much that can really do to kind of, like... So we got power scaling that's going to happen for free consistently, and also give me the Radiant. We got this that will give me defense and Radiant. We got this that will just destroy die, triggering all of my dice destruction stuff. And if we do get this, we actually gain Banefire. We have Banefire for constant damage, and sticks that will keep my dice setup going. This is a really cool build. Oh yeah, I got to increase my animation speed for the dice, don't I? Let's do that as well, because that's going to be frustrating otherwise. Options. No, graphics. Graphics, gameplay. Skip intro, combat speed, set that up faster. There we go. Make it easy for everyone, so we're not going to be sat here just going through the same thing on repeat for, like, God knows how long. Lots of 4s though, so that's not bad. I want to keep the 2, so let's generate a 3 then, so we have one at least. And then set that up, set that up. I need to defend anyway, so we're just going to do this. That triggers the Fickle Barrier and this as well, which is pretty good. And 2 sticks can go in here. Just because that will help deal more damage as well. And then this gets destroyed, triggering the Fickle Barrier, so we're all good. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much really happy with this setup then. I don't think there is a bad thing I can say about it overall. Like, we're in a good spot. I've got nothing else I need to worry about immediately, and I can really kind of like set things up I want to set up. So I'm just getting a good amount of defense immediately from that, but just like generate 2 sticks die, we're fully defended, so... I have no attacks. The cool thing is with the Transcendence, I'm not actually using it for power gain, although I don't think it actually affects anything, does it? Like, even though I gain power, I don't think it increases any other forms of damage that I have currently. So, yeah, I don't know how that works, game. Please let me know. I don't know why I did that. We just used the die. Oh, it gets destroyed, though. So, yeah, that's still pretty good. Someone let me know. 2 4s, give me 11 blocks, seems absolutely fine. We can just get another sticks going as well. We can put a 1 in here because that generated something. Another 1 in there for this guy. This guy should pretty much dead. And the sticks set up and do it again. I think we're good for defense. Okay, so the only issue is the die trigger before the Banefire, which is a bit annoying. But that's kind of like not that bad, to be honest, right? Like, it could be far worse. Trigger all this stuff again. That goes there. We've got 2 4s, which give me a good amount of defense if needed, but we don't really care about that. The 6 can go in there because that's the best one we got. Let's do that again, just having the die come in. Put that in there. And the 4. Put a 1 in there as well, just because that will trigger the Fickle Barrier and stuff, and do it again. And I think we're good. Oh yeah, the dice destruction as well will trigger halfway through rounds and stuff. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Yeah, I generally don't even need to worry about these. Ashen Plating's now not worth it, so guess we'll just get rid of that for now and pick up the Leech, because it's just going to be good to sell and destroy. Go to a shop, see what we can pick up here. Ember Storm. Destroy random die, roll 3 1s. We got enough rolling and stuff, like we don't need to anymore, although it is kind of like pretty cool to have on 4s and stuff. Reduction on Meteor, all die gets reduction spells, don't really care. I'm not going for like the true ending, so I'm not worried about that for now. Let's take this then, what do you get? Keep 10 block between turns. Oh no, just that is hilarious, so we're picking that up. What else do we not want? Leech can go, because that's just pretty much gone. The Hotspot can go. Firelight can go. Just want to get rid of some of the spells that wasn't going to have issues with everything later, because my brain just won't deal with it properly. Ember Storm is interesting. Right? Ember Storm gives me more die to use, which I can just dump into, like, this and that, which means Temper can kind of come out of it. Right? And the upgrade for this just gives me more die if I want them, and they're all 3 to 1s, which is kind of useful with the countdown effects we currently have, and this is kind of the awkward bit then. I would like... This is kind of nice, just because this would help me with power scaling plus the deplete on there. Even the Kindle is kind of useful. But then it's like, I trade that for Okay, I'm going to pick up the Ember Storm. So, the only reason I'm picking up Ember Storm is I need the dice destruction. And if I get like an offensive tool that I can use for the power scaling, I'm going to need more die generation. I will do more defense because I will destroy more die overall anyway. You know? Maybe. Because I won't have this to keep die around. So I'll need dice generation rather than the dice keeping. Because essentially they do the same thing. So it's just like if I get like a really good offensive spell, I'm going to want something to have alongside it. So that's my thought process for that. It might be a waste of gold. I guess ones just get instantly destroyed now, which is going to be like absolutely hilarious. But I get like good armor rating and stuff, and we keep stacking everything else up, so I guess it's not all bad. I guess it kind of is though, isn't it? Do we just gain the defense then immediately? Is that the question here? And then trigger temper again. I think so. No, I guess we get this at least, just so we can still do the same thing. Then we trigger temper for this effect, which will do that as well. We should have enough defense anyway, and we start dealing damage. Cool. Like, boss fights, I think we're like in a really good setup. Yeah, so this is the thing I was talking about earlier when I was thinking, like, unless I can generate other dice consistently, we might have issues with just, like, trying to cast things. I guess we'll do that and then hope for a good 50-50, the defense. Actually, no, we're kind of fully defended anyway if we just go for a fickle barrier, right? Yeah. So this one's gone next turn. 6 barrier already. I will admit, this will probably end up killing me if we have issues, and I'm never actually using the Fury. I can actually do this as well, so... Flame Surge. Trigger Radiant 20 times. There we go, we got that as well. Cool. Thank you very much. Game. I forget I can use these to generate other die as well, so I gotta make sure I do that. No, keep the 4s. Chuck a 2 in there. Because the 4s can give me all the armor I need immediately, so let's do that. Trigger this. Do it again. Keep the 1 around. I can also use the sticks as well before using other stuff because it keeps the die, right? Yeah. This is not that bad. Because it acts as an extra cast against this guy in particular, so... I do laugh, though. The amount of Radiant I end up triggering every turn is kind of just now ridiculous. Trigger, trigger, and trigger. Put a 6 in there, put a 4 in there, put that in there. Generate the 2, because why not at this point? Triggers that and that. Pass the turn. I do get a lot of defense. I guess to pass the turn, just an instant kill. Get all these triggers. Yeah, because I mean, the only thing I'm going to have issues with is if I have a 4 or can generate a 4 if I do go the other way. So we've got Eruption, Chaos Bolts, which actually is kind of useful now. Or going for... Yeah, the Dice Destruction upgrade could be pretty good on this as well, and it will trigger itself. So Chaos Bolts is sort of like interesting. +1 to adjacent spells is also kind of cool as well when it casts with this upgrade. Only has -1 charge on itself though, which is a bit disappointing, but I guess it doesn't matter if we're just scaling a bit of power on it. I guess I'll pick up the Chaos Bolts, just because that might actually work with the build a little bit. Inferno is probably going away, and the Storm is the other option, with Chaos Bolts as the offensive attack. Let's heal here. I think that's a good idea. Now, do you want to go Sticks, or do we want to stay with that and Ember Storm and try that out? Yeah, I think Temper is so good for the extra defense to get out of it. I would probably like to go for that, or just get increased armor rating out of it. We've already got this upgrade, which is probably the best one for Pickle Barrier in this case. The extra power on this would be good if we're going for the build, but I think that we just go for the Incandescent Greater and do the same here as well for this, rather than the extra use in scaling. Like, the scaling will do enough if I only want to cast it once per turn, pretty much. Like, once it gets late game anyway. We've already got the upgrade on that. Sticks, we could just get, like, +1. That could be pretty good, because it could mean I can consistently get 4s. But we're not using it for that, or just the extra uses. Guess it's kind of pointless with that, isn't it? Never mind, let's just continue with what we got currently. I could try out the other set build and go for that idea, but yeah. I think Die Destruction now is kind of like a really overpowered way to kind of play this. I love how 5 has turned into that. So that's a 3. We do get another 3, so we can do some cool stuff. So we're doing this into this. We're going to gamble. We get the good gamble. Change that to a Sticks die, and there we go. Maybe have 3 Radiant as well. Doesn't mean I can't really use 1s, is the thing, unless I generate them differently. So we've got to watch out for that. Do we just go here? I think, yeah, we use this because we roll die extra, don't we? We roll the extra die. Immediately. I love the dice destruction, though. That is hilarious. Indeed. I guess that's the only kind of only side benefit to this Sticks, is the fact because it does re-roll them. I do get a chance to get like really good options on the other side of the coin as such, with getting 1s and stuff. Like, so I get 1s, like, I actually can use them in a really cool way. It doesn't even matter if I use that 1, because it just goes into there anyway. Cool. Yeah, I guess Temper isn't actually needed. I can probably get rid of Temper then, and try and generate more die to be useful for like Sticks and stuff, and just keep destroying them on repeat. Because I think even with this, like, Sticks isn't that useful unless I already have die to kind of play into it. Which I think is the only kind of downside I currently have with the build. Use a Die Destruction die here. Because that, I guess, no, this does, I guess the 4's the issue then, isn't it? If I was dealing damage myself, would I be putting out as much DPS is the question as well, is the other thing, right? We can do that and that. Interesting problem. Interesting problem indeed. Yeah, I get enough defense, like, once you get going, that Temper is kind of pointless, and I'd rather have more die to help out with the damage output. Like, defense won't be a problem with the barrier as well, so I guess we've got to change it up a little bit. And then it's kind of like, do we keep Sticks, or do we go something else? So you go there, that goes there as well. I am not fully defended, so... There we go. Now we are. Yeah, having the sticks die be useful to generate other stuff and keep die around when we're already rolling so many anyway is going to be, like, super useful. Just triggering this. Does that actually trigger at the end of my turn or the start? Yeah, okay, that's the downside of that triggering there. Okay. We now know. We now know. Just put 6 in here, but no, keep 6s around, they're useful. Yeah, temper's not needed. Like, once I get this ramped up, I don't need temper anymore, so... And they should be able to have good ways to generate 4s consistently as well, so there's no issue on that front either. 3 and a 2. Change that as well. Yeah, pretty good build though. And the power gain is the other bit that would make more benefit if I don't go sticks, but... The other question is like, do I want to get rid of this? I mean, it does help out quite a lot, but now I have really good ways to generate die, so I'm like... It's a debate I'm not too sure on, right? '81 Banefire. Hey, I'm surprised I got a Banefire build, to be honest. Oh yeah, and I guess the Fury as well that I keep generating randomly, which I'm like, oh yeah, look, I get Fury as well. Who knew? That goes in there, that goes in there, triggers all the cool stuff that happen. You and you and you. No, we'll turn that one to a 3. So we can trigger this again, just get as much defense, because that sounds cool. And then check 2 sticks die. Pass turn. And voila! Beautiful win. What spell do we get, though? Anything interesting? Ooh, Reforge. That actually works slightly better than what I wanted. So, yeah, we'll take that instead. We'll do this stuff again. Every 13 spell cast destroy die. Yes, please. That is... Oh, that is kind of funny. So, Reforge works really well for this build just because of that. The Chaos Bolts upgrade would be the thing we want to go for next. We'll keep the sticks around until that, or we get something better. Emberstorm is kind of irrelevant now because of... Like, this will give me more die anyway on 5s. The upgrade to this, just turning into a 4 countdown, is probably the way we want to go, really, more than just rolling 2 die, if we get the option for it. So, yeah. We'll disenchant those when we need to, but we got such a good build. I've never getting got a relic that I don't even need here, where I apply more afflictions to stuff. Enemies can have regen, that sounds absolutely fine. Enemies can start one of those, that is also fine. Every second turn take 5 damage. Late game that would be good, but yeah, we'll just carry on with these for now. Begin. Early shot, and then we get to still go to an elite fight if we want to. Yes, please. Yes, please. Sacrifice seems kind of cool. Artery to deal XX damage twice. That's... yeah. And those spells kind of stick out to me. I will pick up the block skin potion, I think, here. We'll just disenchant Ember Storm. Disenchant Temper, so we're not going to mess around with those anymore because I don't think they're good for the build. Let's go for the artifact first. When gaining blocked, gain delay block. On destroy die, deal damage to a random enemy. Yeah, 2 I'm taking that. None of these kind of thing to me, so we'll take the potion just to make sure we don't have any particular issues on that front. Go to the event. Duplicate a duplicate a spell. Okay, so everything I have requires me to kind of like cast stuff. A second Reforge would be absolutely awesome. A second Fickle Barrier, which just means that I probably don't even need to worry about defense going forwards, but it's putting me in the build, right? What I'm probably going to do is just like duplicate the Fickle Barrier just to get the shard from it anyway, because I think that's just like the best way rather than doing this. And yeah, can I please stop this? Like, this is not a very good option if I can just duplicate a spell and get a shard from it. So, and then just go disenchant, Fickle Barrier. Thank you very much. Right. This upgrade just makes this really useful, and the fact that it gives adjacent stuff extra charges as well is also kind of like the main point of it. Does that power scaling? Do we want to go that now? No, we'll change this to countdown, I think. Just because it will also give me ways to use it more efficiently. Rather than always hitting a 5, I can just use it for anything. Cool. Let's go. I think we got a broken build. It would be nice to probably go against like the final boss and stuff, but I'm kind of like, if I try that, I've got like other problems to try and deal with. Oh yeah, 1s do 1 chip damage. Because of this now. I was like, why is it taking damage? I'm like, oh yeah. I forgot about that. Banefire, and then I guess we'll do this. Sticks, and then that triggers that, which gives me power. I can roll 7 die with this now. Yeah, with this, I don't think I need sticks anymore, right? Because I can just do like 14 there and just then roll like 10 die. That sort of thing just happened. I have no idea what happened, but something happened, and it seemed pretty cool to me. So yeah, we'll just carry on here for a moment while I just start destroying random die for no particular reason. I'm not really taking any damage, so that's kind of also cool. Let's just set up my only sort of offensive spell other than this. What else do we really want here? I guess we'll just gain 19 armor, because we might as well at this point also, and other stuff is happening. Do this again, just to make sure. And do I just sacrifice all these die? I need 4 of them, so I might as well do this if we're taking no other damage. And do that again as well. And do that again as well. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. Like, it's just, this is all way too quick for me. Yeah. All I know is something's happening, and I have this feeling that if I put the other spell in for, to give stuff extra charges, I'm pretty much going to go infinite on like particular turns, like get rid of sticks and do it that way. I guess no, I could be ruined if I do that, right? I could have a bad time. 2 4s give me good defense, so we don't have to worry about that now. We can set this up with that and that and that again. The 6 can go in there just to get rid of it. And then I guess these 2 just go in here and here. Yeah, I think having these extra die just solidify the issue. You know, I could roll this many die and then we just deal a bunch of damage as well, so that kind of also works out. But I think having these die around just helps prevent me from like losing to like rolling like 4 1s or something. Which you know will happen, like it always will do. This is just dumb. Should I just roll like 24 die now? Why not? Oh, cool. This stuff triggers before anything else. Oh, this is so dumb. This build is so dumb. I don't even care about any of these. Like, I really don't care. I guess that's got the thing on, so it disenchants some more, so we'll go with that. Where else can we go here? Applies 2 on next cast. That's actually really useful. Because that will mean that I could apply more power to myself. Or more Banefire, or more... Yeah. Guess that's kind of cool. I might reroll these, see if we get this thing like, really good. This turn increases... And minus countdown is actually kind of nice. Will cause stuff to be triggered, so let's go that. Do I go Chaos Bolts? I think I need the upgrade for it. Do I even need the upgrade for it? Just the adjacent thing on there being cast is going to be good enough. But this does mean the auto cast kind of triggers, and then the power scaling is going to be worthwhile in some way. Let's try it out for 1 fight and see without the upgrade against this elite and see what happens. I just want to figure that, like, is it worth me swapping over? But the issue is, like, obviously I might have put this in the wrong place, but... You know, sometimes it's just the way things are. So like die destruction and stuff like that will all still trigger as normal. Probably keep the 2 3s around. Put both of those in there. We'll just trigger Chaos Bolts immediately. Might as well actually, I didn't take any damage. Ah, I landed on the wrong one. Okay, so I gotta force that a little bit. Well, not the faded on those. That seems terrible. Yeah, just do this, I guess, then. Just go in there. That gets rid of that. Guess we'll trigger this. Then we have this being triggered, and do it again, just to make sure. The faded then... Ah, the faded only works at the start of the turn. Interesting. Give me 4 more die. Just do it immediately. Trigger that as well. That 4 can go there. I have 2 6s to go in here. That triggers there. And we do have stuff to go for Chaos Bolts, so... Yeah. Not amazing triggers, but still pretty good. And I'm fully defended. Okay, Chaos Bolts is pretty good, I will say. We've got to swap it around a little bit to make sure we can get the stuff triggering in the right way. This is probably the most awkward fight I could have consistently in regards to trying to keep my damage up and stuff, and that sort of, those sort of things. But with everything else going on, I think we're in a good spot, so... Let's just roll some die. Put that in there. Chaos Bolts again. Yeah, because this only giving +1 is kind of like I want it to land on this repeatedly or something like that, just to help me kind of trigger stuff. It would just be a lot easier to cast the things I want to cast. I'm more forced to cast this by the end of the turn anyway. That 5 goes there, that 3 goes there, triggers the Radiant. The 2 can go here. That goes into a 5, which means I can go for Phoenix Ward, just to get all the defense I need. And I guess we're doing Chaos Bolts again. To deal some damage. Set the Banefire up. I guess Chaos Bolts is not as good as I want it to be, really. I'm disappointed. I guess it gets better the more I end up getting power. So like every turn or so, it'll just get stronger and stronger. It's not consistently happening on the turn I want it to at the moment. Yeah, I think that's the issue I've got currently, because I could end up having turns where I just kind of get ruined by it. But then again, we can just roll 12 die, so it's not like I need to worry that much. This build is kind of stupid, I will admit that. What I got here? Deal 3 damage to a random enemy 1 time. On countdown reduction, +1 hit to next cast. So I can't put 1s in this, that's kind of disappointing. Crescendo, kind of interesting, but doesn't really do what I want it to, although we could just like leave it to scale. Health loss and stuff is kind of interesting. Let me just pick up the Wild Blaze Orb for now. Because essentially it does the same thing as this, but I could probably get more out of it. Do we just go this for the auto cast? No, I think we go like this to gain more. So I can like get more use out of it. Same with this and the Radiant, right? Like these casting themselves and the Radiant is still pretty good. I guess we'll do one more with Chaos Bolts. And we'll force this like this, just so this will always hit the adjacent spell. We'll undo the Solar S over here. And Reforge can go there as well. Because Reforge only goes off like once since I destroy enough dice again, so like it having multiple hits doesn't make a difference. This will give me more uses out of the gain of the Radiant. And I use this quite a lot to help my DPS output. Don't need that potion, so we'll carry on. To the shop. Let's see what's in here. Sun Shield. Gain Radiant on there. -2 spells. Heal for Extract. Don't care about any of those. I guess we'll just disenchant Roaring Flames. And then we'll disenchant Kindle. Just so we go back to the shop, gain an artifact, which will be gain 1 power. No. First spell dealing damage applies to weak. Every 3rd turn, roll a die. I'll take a free die. That sounds absolutely brilliant. Let's carry on then. So this is just a normal fight, so we'll be able to tell if Wild Blaze Orb is going to be useful. Okay, this guy is going to gain power versus health loss. This is not a good sign. Yeah. Not happy here. Are we in the danger zone? Not really. Although we do have this sap annoying me to begin with. I think we just go straight into casting whenever we can first, right? Like, stuff's gonna have defense, stuff is gonna have other issues. Like, we're not really worried about that for now. We put this and this in to get lots of die back. No, we don't. Do it on this one, though. I think this is the problem, is this guy's going to be such an issue for me to try and deal with. 2 4s. Can trigger that. 2 5s. Can do it again. Are we infinite? Like, are we actually going infinite here? Like, because like this casts by itself automatically, I don't need to worry about it. As long as I got like 3s, we can go for this. This casts for a 6. I get 2 5s into Phoenix Ward to give me more armor and trigger that again. We're up to 8. So this casting, or this casting twice, just triggers it. We go 5 into this then. So that also gives me 1 trigger on the Radiant, and I just do this again. And then, because I need dice, we just go like that into there, and then we're laughing. So this gives me 4. This having more on it would be awesome. Shouldn't really go for that, but... that now triggers. That triggers a 2. Even given this, the extra shot actually might even be even better if I always have stuff I can use to cast it. This is kind of stupid. I need to get that to get the extra one on there, so that's good. That and that, I guess, is going in there to give me the setup for what I need, so we don't get any dice destruction. I guess we'll just cast Reforge, so let's get 3 die, or 4 die back. Could do it again for the reroll, we don't need it. Just do Chaos Bolts again. And just do it again. And I finally then have run out of dice to cast. Yeah, this casting for free would be hilarious. And I think that's what I need to have that happen. Two 6s, and I can't cast this then is the issue, so we cast this first. And then 3 goes into here, or 5? Put a 5 in there. Because I already got 2 5s anyway, don't I? No, actually 2 4s, that and that go into there. I could cast this immediately now, just in the dice destruction. Get everything broken again. cast a 6 to help this out, and we win. We're not quite infinite, but yeah, that is just kind of funny. We'll take the Fragmentize, I guess, because it's like better than nothing and I can still sell it. Wallsblade Orb would be interesting and stuff, but no, I would love to have the extra game 5 max life here. I would love to have this as the extra thing to give me a free cast on it, so I don't need to spend die, but I don't think it really works like that the way I want it to. I think this is better, because this will just mean that if I get a free cast into this one, the Phoenix Wall can keep going off, and then this just casts like to do little bits of damage and stuff here and there. I think that's the better way about it, right? So when I do cast this, this happens on there. And then maybe that allows us to go infinite. We'll see, we'll see. Okay. Let's begin the first turn. All 5s and stuff and odd stuff go into here, just so we can use them immediately. Get a 1, that destroys itself. 2 4s does give us this ability to use this immediately, if we want to. I want to use this with the 3. Construct 2 5s in there. We can use this to get 3 dice back. The 6 allows me to cast this. Then put 2 more of these in here. Get 3 die back. The dice destruction triggers. Use a 3 here. We don't get anything else off that. Use the 2 here. And again. We lost that, which was disappointing. But I can get 3 more die back by doing this. 2 3s go in there. Then trigger this. This is so dumb. This is just so dumb. Yeah, I guess like having this one upgraded to like increase the countdown or something would be really cool, but I guess I can't do that. Wallsblade Orb, or just use this immediately. Nah, I guess we set ourselves up for the next turns and stuff. Like this, having like -3 to everything is kind of cool. And then yeah. 2 times, and then countdown, -3 to all spells. Interesting. Oh, that being predicted is fine. Like, predict it. It's absolutely okay. Don't have many other die I can use currently, so let's just get rid of these. That now can roll there. That's a die. 2 4s. A 5 can go in there. We can set the 6 up on this. I need to get die a while, so we'll get the die first. That and a 4. Then have 2 5s to go into here and here. I could kill myself by doing this. Like, I know I'm like kind of just like doing whatever I want, all kind of like whatever strategy, but I'm also kind of like, this is like so cool. I never get the opportunity to kind of like sit here and do this dumb stuff. Guess we'll set the Chaos Bolts then. Carry on. So this is what happens first, so let's cast this. Okay, nothing amazing, but still good enough. The dangers of whatever's going on at the moment. Give me 5 die. 2 3s, 2 4s. Let's do 2 4s into that. 2 6s could be pretty good to use. Let's just use those immediately. And we have 2 more 3s we can use. No, I don't want to use the 3s because of actually no, 2 3s is fine. And a 2 goes into here. 5s are all gone. That goes in there. That goes in there. Check that in there for now. Do the same with the 5. Trigger this. I don't think I've ever had this sort of setup where I've been able to get away with this, like, as much. Right? Like, it's kind of, like, ridiculous in how much I'm getting away with all this. I'm just trying to min-max how much radiant I end up generating per turn, while also trying to keep, like, this going as well. I think that's the hard part, is making sure that you keep enough radiant going. Really? I guess we'll do some damage then. 282 armor. I don't think I ever need to worry about how much armor I've got or anything else as well, right? Both those in there, they all get nice rolls. Do that in there as well. Do that 2 4s in there again. Put the 2 in here, the 4 goes there. I guess the 6 can be used here. 2 4s can be used again. The 3 goes here. 1 gets destroyed. A 6 could be used immediately if we wanted to. I guess this is going to be used somewhere else a little bit, maybe. That's like the issue I'm probably having. Eh. Not too sure. 4, 3, 2, 6. Don't have enough to trigger that or that. I got 2 3s, so we could trigger this and that goes silent though. Not a fan of that. Guess it's Chaos Bolts time. Guess it's just Chaos Bolts time. Is this better than the sticks instead? I don't know. I guess I would prefer having the sticks rather than having to try and figure out how to use Chaos Bolts consistently all the time. But the fact I got like 31 barrier again and we'll be able to do this dumb build consistently every single time it pops up is kind of hilarious to me. There is 6 die waiting for me there. 2 3s again in here. Use a 2 here immediately. Or some extra die. 2 4s can do the same thing, give me lots of armor. 1 4 can go in here. That 3 goes there, I think. Hmm. Hmm. It's just trying to figure out, like, when can I actually cast the stuff I want to cast? Like, when will you let me? Oh, cool. If I kill anything, we're pretty much set, so go Chaos Bolts. There we go, though. Not bad. A victory on Descent 6, finally. I am Titanium. The 3 bosses are taking damage. Man, that was an interesting build. Like, it's just kind of cool. Like, I almost went infinite with it, and I think with, like, some decent setup, like, you could really have a good run with that. And I like that. I'm going to keep that one for my art boost. But yeah, the Reforged, Transcendence, Phoenix Ward, they really do work. Yeah, I just didn't. You know, dice destruction is dice destruction. I can't say any more than that. I'm disappointed it doesn't tell me how many dice I destroyed, but, you know, more by the end of the day. So again, if you do enjoy these videos, do leave a like. Subscribe to see more, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.